The forgotten secret from WWI trenches that can save your life today. You know, it wasn't the rifles or the rations that kept soldiers alive in the trenches. It was something far less glamorous, something so ordinary that most people today wouldn't even think twice about it. The hidden enemy beneath the mud. When we think of World War I, we picture bullets, bombs and barbed wire. But the real killers were much quieter. Trench foot, dysentery, typhus and pneumonia claim more soldiers than enemy fire. Imagine endless rain, mud up to your knees, rats feasting on scraps and the stench of unwashed bodies mixing with decay. The trenches weren't just battlefields, they were breeding grounds for disease. Soldiers quickly realized that the biggest threat wasn't just the Germans across the wire, it was the filth right under their boots. That's when something remarkable happened. Amid the chaos, order emerged, not from generals' commands, but from the collective will of soldiers who refused to die from neglect. The birth of trench discipline. Trench discipline became the lifeline of survival. It wasn't about saluting officers or marching in formation, it was about staying alive. Every movement, every habit had purpose. The duckboards, the wooden planks laid across the mud, had to be scrubbed daily to prevent slips and infection. You see, boots had to be dried, socks changed twice a day, and feet inspected religiously. Latrines were dug at precise distances, and waste disposal became a daily ritual. Food wasn't just rationed, it was guarded from contamination like gold. Soldiers rotated chores, cleaned weapons, boiled water, and followed sanitation routines so strict they bordered on obsession. And for good reason. A single lapse could wipe out an entire unit, not from bullets, but from bacteria. Behind the front lines, the true warriors of life weren't always the ones firing shots. Engineers designed drainage systems to keep trenches from flooding. Medical officers drilled men in hygiene routines. Even something as simple as enforcing hand-washing or boiling socks before re-wearing them became a matter of survival. The trenches taught a brutal truth. Discipline saves lives when chaos rules, and it wasn't just physical survival, it was psychological. Routine gave men a sense of control when the world had lost its mind. Following the rules, cleaning, maintaining order, caring for each other was an act of defiance against despair. What trench discipline teaches us about crisis survival? Fast forward, 100 years, and those same principles still stand as pillars of modern safety. The COVID-19 pandemic, the protocols, hand hygiene, distancing, cleanliness, echo trench discipline to the letter. Disaster zones and emergency response units rely on similar principles: order, hygiene, communication and routine. When everything falls apart, the people who survive aren't the strongest, they're the most disciplined. Look at fire crews in wildfire zones, astronauts aboard the ISS, or doctors in an outbreak. They all live by the same unwritten law forged in the trenches. Follow the routine, trust the process, protect the team. Because in crisis, discipline isn't restriction, it's liberation from panic. The psychology of survival. There's something profoundly human about finding structure in chaos. The men in the trenches discovered that small, repeated actions could keep fear at bay. Wiping mud off your rifle wasn't just maintenance, it was meditation. Cleaning your space meant reclaiming a sense of control. Today, psychologists call it resilience, the ability to stay steady under pressure. Soldiers called it trench discipline. The name doesn't matter, the power does. Whether it's a power outage, a flood, or a pandemic, the secret to surviving isn't luck or strength. It's consistency. The same mindset that kept soldiers alive in 1916 keeps emergency workers functioning today. Think about this. The sanitation practices developed in the trenches laid the foundation for modern field medicine and disaster hygiene protocols. The idea that cleanliness equals survival reshaped military training, hospital sanitation, and even public health systems. Every time you wash your hands before eating or follow a safety checklist at work, you're echoing the habits of men who fought in the mud over a century ago. Their discipline became our safety culture, and, in a world where crises, both natural and man-made, seem to hit harder and faster, that same discipline is our best defense. The legacy that still protects us. The trenches of World War I were a brutal classroom. From the stench of disease rose one of humanity's greatest lessons. Survival isn't random, it's organized. It's about systems, teamwork, and the will to maintain order when everything else collapses. Those soldiers didn't just fight an enemy, they fought entropy itself. And they won, one clean sock and one washed hand at a time. So, next time you face a crisis, big or small, remember this forgotten secret from the trenches: stay calm, stay clean, stay disciplined. Because history proves that in the darkest conditions, structure is the light that leads you out. If you found this story eye-opening and you want to uncover more forgotten lessons from the war fronts that shaped our world, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone who'd never guess how much a little trench discipline could still save lives today.